In an industry stuffed with marketing bullshit, empty promises, and Chinese-suited liars, one woman's had enough. She knows what it's like to have the wrong clients, no money, and no time for fun. But she also knows how to fix it. And on the Business for Superheroes show, she promises to tell the down and dirty truth about business, sales, and running away with the circus. Here's your host, Vicky Fraser.
Hello and welcome to the Business for Superheroes show. I'm Vicky Fraser and Joe is back this week. Say hi, Joe.
Hello.
Hello. That was very cheery.
I am super happy.
Good, okay.
Yeah. Well, it's work, isn't it? We're recording this one at my work. Again. Which I don't enjoy as much as the ones we do at home with a glass of wine because, well, frankly, there's no wine.
No, that is a problem. There's no gin either.
There's no gin, there's no wine, and we're at work in a big echoey room again.
Yeah.
All sounds a bit weird.
Yeah. So if Joe sounds like a grumpleton, then it's because he's at work and with all of the things.
My eyebrows are nearly touching.
Yes, more than usual. Yes. I was going to say something then, and I completely have forgotten what it was. And I think it was even relevant.
Really?
All of the
many things.
To do. Which actually is kind of topical because that is what this week's podcast is all about. I've been thinking about being overwhelmed, which is quite common in our house, isn't it? Amongst me.
Being overwhelmed by the things.
By all of the things, yeah.
Yes.
But there was a prime example of it last weekend, wasn't there? Do you remember when we were doing stuff outside? And I started to do about 6 different things.
You started to trim the hedges, then you started to mow the lawn, then you started to weed some borders, then you started to... Yeah, it was ridiculous.
Yeah, part of this is down to the fact that we've got so much to do at the dingle.
And you did none of them.
And I successfully did none of them, yes. I started a whole bunch of things. But then, I'm doing a new thing and we can talk about that as well. I've got my... I've got this. That was not knicker elastic.
Kind of sounded like it.
That is my new journal, which is awesome, and it's divided into bits. It's just got stuff to do, and I'm so excited I can barely speak. Joe, explain it.
It appears to be a pretty much standard day calendar type notebook thing, but it has sections like here. It has the day broken into hours, and then it has a little bit for goals and a bit for today's targets. I'm not sure what the difference between a goal and a target is, but hey.
Oh, that's my longer term goals, but these are the things I want to get done today specifically.
Okay, so you break down what your plan is for the day and what your goals are and what your wins are and what you've learned and
that's really cool because it keeps
well
me
hasn't.
And it keeps me on track because each day I can look at this and think, right, this is my long-term goal, and then the today's targets are the things that I want to get done today that are going to move me closer to those goals.
Number 1, record a podcast.
Yeah, which we are successfully doing right now.
Well done. You can cross that one out.
Yeah, so that's going to go into today's wins, because there's a little space for wins, which is your brag zone, and there's a little space for what lessons you've learned, which is basically where you buggered up the whole thing.
Yes.
Which is fine, because you learn, what you've done wrong. But there's also, what I really like, is a little space in the morning section for this morning I am grateful for. And this morning I had my deeply comfy bed. And how cuddly Noodle is. Noodle's our cat, one of our cats. And Joe bringing me lemon and high tea. Which you do most mornings, because you're lovely.
I do that most mornings. Normally you're just under a duvet and kind of grunt.
That's not true. I got up at 6 o'clock yesterday on a bank holiday Monday and made you tea. Anyway.
That's the deal though, isn't it? Work days I bring you tea.
Yeah.
Non-work days you bring me tea.
Yeah. And it works well. But yeah, and then in the tonight section, there has a tonight I am grateful for. And that sounds a little bit like wishy-washy and wanky, but it's not, because it means that you start off your day on a positive note. So rather than waking up and going, all of the things, you go, this morning I am grateful for, still being alive is always a good one. The older you get, I guess.
Optimism, folks. Cheery optimism.
And then when
this is as good as it gets.
And then when you finish your day on a really good note as well. So things that you're grateful for. And they've actually done studies on this stuff, did you know? where they have found that, I can't remember what they found now, but it was really good. They found that people
Top fact, folks. They found something. Can't remember what it was.
I found this spoon. They found...
It was good. It was good. They found a good thing.
No, they found that people who write down their gratitude every day, they start and finish their day with gratitude, have a better night's sleep. They sleep for longer. They feel better when they wake up, less tired. And they are generally healthier and happier. And I'm sure that there are lots of other variables as well that go in, but it's kind of a trait of people who sleep well and all the rest of it. So anyway, that is what I'm doing to help myself get stuff done.
Getting stuff done.
But also to help me do fewer of the things.
Mm-hmm.
Because all of the things is bad. And I've been putting it to use in, at home as well. And I'm trying to make Joe do stuff and he just glares at me whenever I suggest that he might want to schedule his day that tightly. Because this morning between 6 and 7 it said, breakfast, shower, chickens.
Shower chickens?
Showering the chickens. I don't shower the
Don't
chickens.
shower the chickens. They don't like it.
No, but this weekend, bank holiday weekend, rather than kind of starting 6 separate jobs in the garden and failing to finish any of them, instead we were like, right, today we're going to build steps up the grassy bank. And we did, didn't we?
We did.
We now have steps, stone steps that we've scavenged from various places around our garden, like proper stone, like lumpy stone. And we have a beautiful staircase and it looks ace, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And then yesterday we repaired the Bridge of Death.
It is now just the Bridge of Significant Peril.
Yep. And we've got another staircase to build up into the woods. So we need to scavenge more stone or go to a reclamation yard. And oh my god, the reclamation
I think we should just find some stone and make visitors do that when they come round.
Okay.
Just make someone else do that.
Well, we'll make them do the heavy lifting anyway. I'll do the pointing and directing.
Yes, you're good at that.
Yeah. So basically I've been thinking about being overwhelmed, which, as I say, is quite common amongst me.
I can get a bit swirly at work as well. I've got a team of, 8 or 9 guys. I can never remember quite how many are supposed to work for me. But they...
You should probably sort that out.
I probably should know that. Yeah, and I often get many questions and demands from my time and my opinions and my thoughts and my understanding and my knowledge. And it does get a bit much sometimes.
And yet, I have given him a really good book to read that will help him sort that out. And how many pages of this book have you read so far, Joe?
Which one of the good books is it that you've given me?
The one that I
haven't
actually
read?
bought for you that's sitting on your
It's
desk.
on my desk. It's on my desk. I haven't read much of it yet. I need to read that book.
Yes. You do. Because the reason I get so frustrated is because I know that it will genuinely help you and you will be less swirly and less frustrated. And you will get less questioning from people. Anyway, we're not going to have a row on air.
We might.
Yeah, because I'll be like, don't be bringing that problem home to me again if you haven't tried to fix it.
Oh.
Which is reasonable. You're only allowed to moan about something once. Maybe twice. If by the third time you haven't started to fix it...
Wind up. You're only allowed to moan about something once or
No,
twice.
we're talking about you here.
No, that's fine. Okay, I can go with that deal.
Yeah, I'm fixing my hair now. I've got a consultation booked in.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Cool. Okay, so, right, no, noted. I've written that one down.
Yeah, I'm fixing my eyebrows as well.
But you're only allowed to moan about things once or twice?
Twice, maximum.
Twice.
Before you actually start to fix it. No, that's a decent thing to talk about as well, because I get quite frustrated when I hear people say, oh, I haven't got enough money, or I hate my job, or I hate this, that, and the other about my life. And I'll kind of look at them and I'll go, sympathy. What are you doing to change that? And I'll get either a baffled look or some spluttering and then a swift change of topic. And I find that quite frustrating. Because,
Well, a lot of time when people are kind of telling you things like that, they just want someone to whinge at, don't they?
I know, but this is like the third or fourth time I've been told. You need to fix your own life because nobody else is going to do it for you. They're not.
It's true.
It's true.
Anyway, what are we talking about today? We're like 9 minutes in and we haven't actually... Well, have we?
Yeah, we've been talking about being overwhelmed and, not trying to do too many things at once. And I read something the other day about how, people trying to do everything. And we are all... Well, I don't know, I am. I think most people are kind of attracted to the latest bright, shiny object. And, the thing that's new, and we see people doing it and we think, oh, that looks great, I need to do that. And actually, then we kind of compare what we're doing to other people are doing, to what other people are doing. And we find ourselves wanting all the time.
Right.
Sorry?
Right. Examples.
So I'll take an example from me. I'll be looking at the various, internet marketing people. I was going to say fools them, but they're not all fools. Some of them are cool. The various internet marketing people, and they'll be like, I'm doing this thing today and this thing today, and I'm going to be doing this video series, and I'll be like, oh, I'm not doing those things.
Maybe I should have a skywriter doing stuff and planes and...
Yeah. But the thing is, you don't have to do all of the things. You don't have to do all of the things. And so today is all about listening to yourself, basically, because if you see something and you think, like, for example, Snapchat. I don't fucking get Snapchat. I don't understand it. Apparently it's a thing and marketers are using it. And that's one of the things that I've been looking at, thinking, I've got Snapchat on my phone, and I downloaded Snapchat onto my phone. And I was like, right, let's look at what people are doing, which seems to be basically live Snapchatting videos of them walking along and chatting snappily. I don't know. But I was like, I need to do this. And people will listen to my inane ramblings. And of course they're not going to, although, people listen to this, and this is quite inane.
Pretty rambly.
Pretty rambly, so I don't know. But the thing is, I was kind of like, I don't really know what Snapchat is, but I feel like I need to do it. And then I was like, no, I don't. I don't need to do all of the things. If something doesn't feel, if you look at something and think, I feel like I need to be doing that, but actually you really don't want to, then don't do it. And I'm quite conscious that a lot of my daily emails and the stuff I teach in my inner circle and the stuff I say in my book, I put a lot of stuff out there for people to try.
Mm-hmm.
But I think maybe I neglect to say that actually you don't have to do it all. Or certainly not all at once anyway.
Sure.
And I think that's where some of the problems come in. So for me, quite often I'll be like, I want to do, all of these 7 things, and then it's like in the garden and I don't do any of them.
Want to do a podcast, want to do a webcast, want to do a teleclass.
Yeah.
Need to write a blog. Need to do some LinkedIn advertising.
Yeah. And so, to kind of mitigate some of that, I've outsourced all of my advertising. And I do the podcast because I actually really enjoy it, because it's fun.
Mm-hmm.
I genuinely don't know if it's profitable for me or not yet, because we've not been doing it for long enough, and, all of the rest of it. But
there's an idea. If you've listened to this podcast and then bought something off us...
Can you let us know?
Yeah, let us know.
That'd be really cool. But to be honest, even if the podcast... The thing is, it's not, you can't measure it directly, because this is the kind of thing that you do to build the relationships and to help people out, and then eventually, down the road, they might join. Like, I know somebody who's been on my email list for, I think he said 18 months.
Cheapers.
And he joined my inner circle over the weekend.
Mm.
And so that's a hell of a long lead time. And that's a lot of content and a lot of relationship building that I've been doing, but it shows that it pays off. Because, if he stays for a year, he's worth, 1,500 quid a year to me.
Mm-hmm.
Which is really, really cool. So you need to look at it like that when you do stuff. If you can't see an immediate ROI, it doesn't mean there isn't an ROI.
It just might be a long-term ROI.
It might be a long-term one, and it might not be directly measurable. But I keep kind of banging on about podcasts, and it might be that you're listening and thinking, I need to do my own podcast. You don't have to. If you fancy giving it a go, then give it a go. But for goodness sake, don't shell out loads of money on professional stuff and, all the rest of it before you've given it a couple of tries.
You might find you hate it.
You might find you hate it, and that's fine. You don't have to do it if you hate it. If I hated podcasting, if you hated podcasting, we wouldn't be doing it, would we?
No.
No. It's, we would have chalked it up to, a couple of £100 spent and decent experiment, and that's that.
And move on.
Yeah. So, what I'm saying really is, if you try stuff, I give you loads of ideas and loads of things that you can try. Try it out. Don't just say, I'm not even going to try this because because I believe it won't work, or I feel like it won't work, because that's bullshit. You don't know if it's going to work or not until you've tried it.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't know if you're going to like it or not until you've tried it. So pick one thing, try it. If you like it, if it seems to work, carry on, do more of it. Pick another thing, try it. If you hate it, stop doing it. Pick another thing. It's kind of do stuff, but don't try and do everything all at once, and don't feel like you need to do new stuff just because it's new and because other people are doing it.
Sure.
It's kind of all about the things that bring you closer to your goal and make you feel good.
And things you can stand doing for a living.
Yeah.
Because you don't want to be lumbering yourself with a whole bunch of really horrible tasks that you hate.
No.
Doesn't matter how much money it gets you.
No, well, that's the other thing as well, you see, because I sometimes see people saying, I really hate doing this thing, but it brings me a load of money. It's like, well, does it bring you in enough money to make it worthwhile, really? It's like, if you've got a really, really horrific customer who's awful to you, but they bring you in a lot of money. Is it really worth it, really? Could you really not get another customer that brings you in that much money but who's nice to you?
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's just, design the life that you want, really. Don't dance to somebody else's tune and don't get overwhelmed about it. But I did think, while we're talking about all of the many things, that I would just list a few of the things that I do.
Mm-hmm.
And, briefly say whether or not they're useful and
that sounds reasonable.
Profitable, and you can maybe give them a try or not. So anyway, email marketing obviously is my thing.
You live on email marketing, don't you?
Live on email marketing, yeah. Email marketing for me it's by far the most profitable thing I do, by far.
Mm-hmm.
I don't make a sale every time I send an email, but what I'm doing is building a relationship and
building a tribe, making friends.
Yeah, I don't like the word tribe. Everyone's using it. But
okay, not a tribe. whatever those people are out there.
Frogs. No, you're not frogs. I like frogs. Anyway, we're getting off the topic somewhat.
Frogs.
So email marketing. I email my list every day. And yet there are still people out there who say, emailing every day is bad and it doesn't work. And that always cracks me up because, yes, it does. Knob off. So email marketing, absolutely you should be doing it because it is cheap and it's easy and it's a really simple way of building a relationship, and it gets you into the habit of writing. It gets you practicing writing.
Yeah.
That's a really good thing. So that's maybe the one thing that I will say, suck it up and do it. Because once you get good at it, it takes 20 minutes to knock out an email.
Yeah.
And you'll get quicker. Probably not quicker than 20 minutes, but you can, work down to 20 minutes. Anyway. Blogging. I blog, but I don't actively blog because I turn my daily emails into blogs.
Handy.
I know.
Repurposing.
Repurposing for the win. Don't reinvent the wheel. Repurpose your content for other purposes. So my assistant turns my daily emails into blogs, puts them on my website, and then she tweets them all over the place using social media.
Nice.
I don't do any of that stuff. I do go on Facebook sometimes and go into my groups and talk to my people, but generally I don't do social media in the way that a lot of people waste their time on social media.
Sure.
So yeah, blogging, social media, podcasts obviously.
Podcasts.
But I also repurpose the podcasts. So my assistant transcribes these podcasts for us and she puts them up on my website and the blog so that they're searchable and they become yet more content that I can use. Because some people don't like to listen, they like to read.
You could turn it all into a book. You could stick them all together, wouldn't you? Vicky Fraser, the podcast years.
I could do that. That's another thing.
Can you imagine what a rambly thing that would be?
How very dare you?
It'd be amazing.
I don't think it would be that rambly. Okay, if you're listening and you think that we should turn the podcast into a book, which, by the way, would be your book as well.
Yeah, joint author.
Mm-hmm. If that's a book that you would like to read, then drop me an email and say yes. If it's a book that you think would be horrific, then just drop me an email that says fuck no. We won't be offended. Anyway, direct mail. I do direct mail.
Yep. Who gets direct mail?
All of the people who've bought my book.
Cool.
Yep. So the people who buy my book get a free newsletter delivered to their door every month because I'm that nice.
Forever?
Until I can not be asked anymore.
Okay.
Yeah, no, forever, yeah. Yeah. They just go on the list. Or until they unsubscribe.
Yeah.
Or tell me to knob off. That's fine.
Okay.
But yeah, they get that, and every now and then they get a letter or something as well, or an offer or whatever through the post. So I do that, and that's really cool, and it costs me a maximum of a couple of quid a subscriber to put something in front of somebody physically every month.
Mm-hmm.
Well worth doing. Continuity membership program I've got my inner circle.
Yeah.
That's brilliant because it's this continual income. You do it once and sell it many times.
It's a good thing.
It is a good thing. And I've made it sound slightly easier than it is. It's not, because what I offer a lot more than most people offer, and I kind of do personal critiques, and I spend quite a lot of time talking to the people in my group, and you'll find that not everybody with that kind of a membership group will put that amount of effort in. But for me, it's worth it, and that's what I want to do.
It's nice. I like it.
Yeah, I wouldn't feel good just writing something and then not getting involved with people.
Yeah. You do get properly involved with them as well, don't you? They get really good value out of you.
Yeah, I think so. I hope so. They tell me they do, so that's good. Books. I write books. Book singular at the moment, but I've got another one in the pipeline, and possibly this podcast book. Which, yeah, anyway. Ebooks.
That's just a book, but Eid.
Yes. Well, I've got my Kindle version of my book, but I've also got my little e-booklets as well.
Right, yeah.
So I've got my 76 headlines, I've got my 7 big mistakes ebook, and I've got a couple of others as well.
Did the 49 ideas turn into an ebook?
No, but I need to do that.
You need to do that?
I need to turn my 49 ideas into an ebook. I know. So I'll add that to my list of all of the things. I do training courses.
Yep.
Online training courses, offline training courses, workshops. I'm planning an event for October, which I've just said out loud again, so I'm going to have to do this bloody thing. I have to get my hair sorted first, and my eyebrows. No Dennis Healy's. Video marketing, which I hated the idea of, but I say I do video marketing. So far I've done a video, but I got really good feedback on it.
Which one was that?
The one for the sales page for my Write Your Book in 90 Days course.
Oh, right.
I did a sales video for it.
Jeepers. Okay.
I know.
I don't think I've seen that.
No, that's because you paid no attention to what I do.
Oh, man.
So I did that, and I'm going to do more videos when I've got my hair sorted out. That is the don't laugh. That is the caveat for that, because I really have got an issue with my hair and just looking stupid. Anyway, here are the things I don't do.
Okay.
And that I have no intention of doing, and that's okay. Snapchat. I don't get it. I don't care. I've looked at other people on Snapchat. I still don't get it.
Cool.
Not going to do it. Instagram.
I don't get Instagram.
No. I mean, it's pretty and all the rest of it, but...
Yeah.
Pinterest. I use Pinterest for personal stuff because I've got different boards for, doing the house up.
Decorating my house and sorting out the garden and all that kind of stuff.
And if you've got... I mean, to be honest, Instagram and Pinterest, if you've got a visual business, if you're an artist, or you're a designer, or you're a clothes maker, then yes, I think you could find it very useful. What I do is not really visual, and I can't be bothered.
Sure.
But if you're in the kind of visual photographer or something, then
Would that be the same for Instagram then?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, don't assume that just because I'm not doing these things that they're not going to be good for you, because I know people who've done really well out of Instagram and Pinterest and all the rest of it. So it's just I don't know anything about them. Proper blogging. I'm not what you would call a blogger in the same way that copy blogger and other famous ones whose names have completely disappeared out of my head. But I don't do proper blogging. As in, I don't specifically set out to write blogs usually. I normally repurpose my daily emails. But I am going to start with the proper blogging because I have got some things I want to do. Not regularly, but just for sales purposes, really. Documentaries are another thing that people have started doing, kind of TV series, like podcasts, but videos.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't fancy that at all.
Wow.
Although it could be quite amusing.
I don't think so.
Radio. I don't really do radio. I don't do radio advertising or anything like that, or TV, and I have no intention of doing it. At the moment, it might change. And I've just written interviews on that list as well. I don't really know why, so let's just move swiftly on. And the things I'm going to start doing over the next few months, writing a column for a newspaper or magazine, because that can be a very good way of getting your name out there and establishing yourself as an expert, and that's been on my to-do list forever, and I need to get my shit together and do it. And using e-zine articles as a way of generating leads, so online magazines you can put your... Like I could repurpose my daily email, top and tail it slightly differently, make it less overtly salesy, and then wang it out into the, internet.
I like the way you were abstractly waving your arms in the air there. That was good.
Thanks.
Describing the internet.
Well, that kind of what the internet is, though, isn't it? It's like wave your arms and
I'm not sure the audience are really getting much out of the abstract arm waving, to be honest.
Well,
So hang on, what's the e-zine articles as a way of generating leads?
Yeah, okay.
Use words to describe what you mean.
Okay, so basically just online articles, and there are various portals online where you can upload articles, and it's kind of SEO, which I don't want to encourage people to spend an awful lot of time on SEO, because you're far better with targeted advertising. But for the sake of, half an hour a week, you might as well wang your article up on one of these portals and have it out there, because then when people are searching for something that relates to that topic, they'll come across the article, and your call to action is to sign up for your email list, and then you get them on your email list. Always your most wanted action should be to get people on your email list first and foremost.
Well, that's because your primary route to people is via daily emails. If your primary route for selling your fancy candles was Pinterest, then your primary route might be to get to them onto Pinterest, mightn't it?
Nope.
No.
No, I'm shaking my head there because for the very simple reason that you don't own Pinterest and you can't control what goes on there. Pinterest could pull your account at any second and you would lose every single one of your followers that you spent all that time building up. I'm not saying don't send people to Pinterest and don't use Pinterest, but do not make
or
that...
Facebook or LinkedIn or whatever.
Yeah, or Facebook or LinkedIn. But you don't own those platforms. Do not make it your primary means of selling because you could lose that platform at any time.
Okay.
And you don't control the dialogue. And also, on Pinterest and stuff, so much other stuff going on. Oh, that's a pretty picture of a hedge. I'm going to go over there and look at that. Oh, there's a funny cat video on YouTube. I'm going to go... And you've lost them. And you won't get them back because people will forget instantly.
Okay.
So that's why I always say get people off whatever platform, whatever social media platform and onto your email list. Or, if you must, your blog, if it's hosted by you and you own it and all the rest of it. Because, again, you've got your blog followers. But even there, you're risking it because you don't have any contact details for them.
Sure.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, okay.
I'm glad you asked that because that's something that we should probably talk about in more detail at some point. So, anyway, we're like 25 minutes in. It's quite a long one. We should probably finish.
Okay.
So, yeah, you don't have to do all of the things, basically.
Particularly not today.
Especially not today. Pick one thing, give it a try. If it works, carry on. Then try something else. Don't do it all at once.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying. And listen to yourself. If you really don't want to do something, don't do it. Life's too short for that shit.
You won't enjoy it. You won't be good at it. You won't keep it up.
No. Cool, okay, so next week... I've got written down, but it might not be because last week I said we were going to do something different this week and we didn't. I know. So next week we may or may not talk about how you don't need ninja tricks to sell stuff in copywriting.
Okay.
All you need is a few fundamental principles. So I'm going to talk about a few myths about copywriting and some other fun facts and stuff and things.
Stuff and things. Sounds good.
Yeah. And yeah, if you haven't bought my book already, then go buy my book. businessforsuperheroes.com, or you can buy it on Kindle via Amazon, obviously. If you've got a Kindle copy and you send me an email with your receipt and your mailing address, I will add you to the Business for Superheroes Club and send you my free newsletter every month.
Awesome.
And extra bits and pieces too.
And don't forget to tell us whether you'd want these podcasts turning into a book. We might have to record a few more first.
Yeah. This is podcast 25.
That is amazing.
Well, it's a quarter of a century old.
It's
podcast years.
It's kind of not, though, is it?
Yeah.
It's half a year.
It is half a year. Almost. Next week will be half a year.
I think we should have a drink next time.
Yes, we should be doing this at home next time.
Right.
Okay, so be good, and if you can't be good, then don't get caught, and we will see you next week. Thanks, Joe.
No worries. Have a good one.
Bye.
Bye.
Like what you've just heard? Tell your colleagues, tell your friends, send them to www.businessforsuperheroes.com/podcast.